Well, hello there. This is Ab Fab, and we are in for what would be termed a brief roundup. We haven't had one of these in a long time. Yeehaw, baby. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Say hello, Stats.
Yeehaw. Hello. How are we? Ready for a roundup?
Yep. Here we go.
Let's do it.
And here's another roundup, man. Another rodeo guy. Gazelle.
Certainly are, sir. Thank you for that lovely introduction, as always. And we best get a move on because it looks like Stats needs a winner by the look of it.
Just a tad.
Very good, very good. Right, well, okay. First one, out of the box. The man who said that he would never, ever do this. He would let the law take its own process.
Is it Keir Starmer?
No.
Oh.
Joe Biden.
There's another liar. Yeah.
Airhead himself. He pardons his son Hunter in bombshell U-turn as he claims his son was unfairly prosecuted. He gets that?
Yeah.
His son was unfairly prosecuted on gun and tax crimes in an effort to break him. I mean, you know.
I thought he was going to pardon Donald Trump, but, you know.
I was going to say,
crimes he didn't commit.
And turn it round, do you think?
No, you can't turn it round.
Well, he made the shock announcement. Yeah, he made the shock announcement on Sunday night that he would issue a presidential pardon for his son, calling his prosecution selective and unfair. Now, everything that happened to Donald Trump wasn't. I mean, you know, the two-faced nature of these people is just unbelievable. But once he pardons him, that's it. Right? And this U-turn decision will see Hunter get pardoned for any crimes he committed or may have committed from January the 1st, 2014 through to December the 1st, 2024. And weeks after the White House denied the president would make this move in the final months of his lame duck presidency. Go ahead, Stats.
This is not to pardon him for them couple of lame crimes they've put him through to cover up the rest of the stuff. It's for the crimes that he's going to be done for when Trump comes in, because they've got the laptop where allegedly sleeping with underage girls, all the crack cocaine, and then there's all the business dealings in Ukraine with Burisma, all the corruption there, which is probably going to come out when Trump gets in. So I think it's more for that, to be honest. But why doesn't Trump just, when he comes in, just pardons himself then? You may as well at this point, because if Joe Biden had just rogue doing whatever they want and pardoning their own family members for quite serious crimes, then Trump should just pardon himself forever and just say, right, I'm pardoning myself until I die. So, you know, when I come in 4 years, you're going to try and open up all these trials again. Well, tough. Because there's no rules now, is there? You may as well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more to do with what happened with this cover-up. With his son being on the board of a Ukrainian gas company in Burisma.
Yeah.
I think it's more to do with that. That's
all the horrible stuff they found on that laptop. Because we've seen pictures and videos, and it doesn't look good.
Well, is it going to happen? Do you think Trump's going to let it go?
No, but I think he's probably got bigger fish to fry. So I think he'll probably like to go after Hunter, but I think he's got bigger jobs and he's only got 4 years. Hopefully he will. He can assign someone to it, but I don't think it's going to be his priority. But...
Yeah, they can assign somebody to it and then just let them get on with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
well,
prosecutor will sort that out.
The new FBI chap that he's just put in.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Well, there's Rudy Giuliani's got the laptop.
There you go.
A lot of stuff on there.
Yep. And but it also holds a lot of information, supposedly about corruption and money being handed over behind the scenes to the Bidens, from these foreign governments, and it's all to do with the tax dollars that are actually going out to fund Ukraine. They're dodgy.
Very dodgy.
Okay. Anyway. Right, second story out of the box. Here we go.
Did he forget to pardon himself?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That'd be interesting if he forgets to pardon himself and then all that information incriminates him. So we just go after him instead of Hunter.
So funny. So funny.
There's a way.
Can you imagine him turning around? He gets put in prison and he goes, "Oh, this is a nice place."
Yeah. Should have pardoned myself. I forgot.
Where's Jill? Jill? Are you around, Jill? Jill? Hey, Jill. It's got a TV in it. It's lovely rooms.
Sorry, anyway, I interrupted. Number 2.
Anyway, all right, the bishop that called for Justin Welby to resign over the Church of England's worst child abuse scandal is frozen out.
Oh, he's been bashed.
No, she.
Oh, she?
She can't bash the bishop, can she?
Oh, yeah.
That's put a new twist on it, hasn't it? Bashing the bishop.
Actually, these days, you never know, eh? You know, men can have babies, so women can bash the bishop. Anyway, moving on.
Well, it's your namesake. Her name is Dr. Helen Ann Hartley.
Oh, well, that really infuriates me now.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Well, she
so they're
called.
covering her up, or are they trying to hush her up?
Yep. All right. She broke ranks to call for the Archbishop of Canterbury to step aside over failures that meant that the serial abuser, John Smith, was never brought to justice.
Shocking. Leave them Hartleys alone. Now, when the abuse is short, it's even more shocking, to be honest.
Well,
Look, we get more Hartleys in position, we're going to end up in a right jam, aren't we? Yeah, go on.
well, she reckons she's been isolated now.
That
Right.
went way over his head, mate.
I know.
Reading.
I'm really, of course I am. She's also criticised other clergy for staying silent over the church's safeguarding failures due to, now you're hearing this now, careerism and a desire to become the next Archbishop of Canterbury, which is, well, this is a Daily Mail story. I mean, they've done a very good job on this. Very good job. And she called for the Church of England to be placed in special measures over its safeguarding provision. Now, Mark, this must be something going right up your alley. Right up your alley.
Yeah, there's a lack of safeguarding across the board in this country, isn't there? And the priority should be to look after children.
Indeed.
There's biggest politics going on in the church than there is in Westminster.
But that's the problem. You alluded to it there, John. It's the same thing the politicians do. Children should be their priority to save them, right? And safeguard them. But it's not. It's all about the next job they're going to have.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why
absolutely.
We're told a lot of absolute lies in the run up to the election, even more than anyone knows.
Well, not only that, okay, I mean, to ask for a whole institution like the Church of England to be put in special measures. I mean, who is actually going to put them into special measures, and who is going to be actually checking to make sure that they're actually getting themselves back into line? I mean, the only higher authority is God himself.
I think we should have like collections of people from the country who are independent of the government to hold these people to account, because clearly you wouldn't want to give it to the government, would you? This bunch of frauds.
Well, again,
they just shut the whole thing down, wouldn't they? Because that's what they want anyway.
Well, with the Archbishop of Canterbury resigning, that means that the Archbishop of York is the next person right now who will be taking over all of his duties and everything that's going on, because he's the most senior bishop to the Archbishop of Canterbury. And you're not going to believe this, but there are 4 bishops, senior clergy, and a member of the committee who are going to select the next Archbishop of Canterbury. And I think I've got this right, Dr. Hartley is also calling for those figures to resign because of their, basically, their inadmission of certain things within the review that took place. So their inactivity has made them liable, according to her, to actually get out. Which that's fine. That's okay. But it usually happens, doesn't it, that the whistleblower actually is the one that gets tormented. And that's wrong, And she doesn't know, what's going to happen. She hasn't got a clue. But if they do anything to her, right now, obviously it's going to look bad. It's going to look very, very bad on him.
They don't care though, do they? They should probably end up in jail at some point. But like you say, why are the people who always try and, like, you know, fix these problems or highlight them, why are they always the bad guy?
Well,
especially the Hartleys. Leave the Hartleys alone, will you?
But what she's saying is the people that are going to be picking the next Archbishop of Canterbury are actually people that should be kicked out of the church as well. So because, you know, they never did anything to help.
Were they the same people who picked the last one?
Yeah.
Well, she's got a point then, hasn't she? It's like the same up here in Cheshire. We've got a send crisis. Now, the council are trying to fix the very problem that they're responsible for. So, like I said, we need independent bodies of people. You know, like they make a jury. You could do a similar process, couldn't you? So you pick people at random, and people in the community fix these problems and hold them to account, not themselves. Might get some common sense that way.
We need a clear out in everything.
Yeah.
Well,
right
I tell you,
the system.
I tell you, God. Let's put it this way: God has got to have a bit of a rethink over the Catholics as well, because this is a problem, you know, that's gone on, and behind the scenes, you shouldn't be allowing any of this to go on, none whatsoever. You should be doing, and if you're going to resign, get out. Why has he got to stay until? Why has Welby got to stay until January? I mean, what the hell is all that about? You know.
He'll probably have something to do with a pension or something, where it'll be something financial. It always is.
Pension. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Was it? It's always money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably a couple of months off it, isn't he? So.
Well, a spokesman for the Church of England said its safeguarding team is considering the findings of the Macon review to determine whether any disciplinary action should be taken against individuals named in the report, and that a number of clergy have been asked to step back from ministry while that process continues. They added, safeguarding in the Church of England has developed and improved across the church in recent years, but like all institutions, we must never be complacent, particularly in our response to victims and survivors. That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, does it?
It doesn't. It's not a good look for the church either. I mean, it's not this nonsense stuff with kids. It's not. It doesn't come from the religion. It's not like other religions, you know, that in their books allow you to marry children and their so-called prophets. It's similar with children. It's a bit of a cancer everywhere, isn't it? This paedophile thing. And,
Indeed.
You know, why does there always seem to be a cover-up? Why is there so many people? Again, with this, I don't know. I think with this chef fella, sorry to go on, I don't know if you're going to mention this, but Trevor did before. I think, again, this is probably another thing where it's just built up to be something it's probably not, from loads of people whinging about stuff and hurty feelings. They can crucify people, this, but...
Crucify people, I like that.
Well, they're going to crucify him because Downing Street has already got involved, and they've mentioned that he has put out misogynic tendencies by saying what he's done with that video they released. So I'll tell you what, you can expect a knock on his door from the police.
Who? Which one? Greg Wallace?
The chef, yeah, because I think, why is Downing Street got involved in it?
Yeah, but is it really that important? I mean, if you consider all the things that are going on, and these are comments that were made, you know, many, 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 many years ago.
Yeah, I think this. All right, it is important to people that are involved in it. But the point is, I'm a bit concerned as to why Downing Street has got involved and said that he's spreading misogyny. To me, that's just. Why are they getting involved? Are they going to arrest him?
Okay.
Yeah, it's identity politics again. But no, my point, sorry, I got a bit sidetracked, was the fact that no one ever speaks up, do they? In the future, everyone always says, oh, yeah, this was going on. Oh, I saw all this going on. I'm sorry, but why are you now saying it? And why weren't you saying it back then?
Yeah.
And they're all proud of the fact that, oh, yeah, I saw this going on back in the day. Well, then you're just as guilty then because you didn't do anything, did you?
Yep.
Exactly.
They're worse. They're just, oh, God, they're on a level with the people doing the things. It's like, how can you just turn a blind eye for years and tell me, oh, I knew it was going on? Been going on for years.
Well, here's another one for you. Okay, talking about the cabinet or ex-cabinet member. Ex-cabinet member Louise Haigh took a photo of a supposedly stolen phone to submit to police after the date of the alleged theft. After the date of the alleged theft, officers believed. Okay? So, are you catching that?
She was almost getting away with this, wasn't she? It was quite believable at first.
You know? So she gets mugged. She gets mugged, right? And she says her phone's been stolen. Yeah. And then the police say, well, you know, have you got a picture of the phone? Right. Well, then all of a sudden the phone, right? She gives a picture of the phone, according to this story.
It's already gone.
And the phone's supposed to have already been stolen. Okay.
Hey, that's a great way of stopping, like, you know, these blag claims on insurance. I don't know if the police have done that on purpose or they've accidentally busted her. But they should do that every time, right? Something's been stolen. Can you send me a picture? Yeah, they are. Well, it's not been stolen, has it, mate?
So the police
just took that picture.
What the police are suggesting is that the metadata attached to the photo shows that it was taken after the reported crime.
Oh, do these people not realise that you take a picture, it's time-stamped? Are they dumb?
Yeah, but let's get serious about this. Let's get very, very, very serious about this.
Lock her up.
She's in a position where she could influence things.
She couldn't even influence the fake stealing of her own phone.
She was
allegedly.
She was a minister. She's involved in important decisions.
This is the problem, isn't it, Trev?
Oh, my God.
That's like saying, I am witness to a murder. All right, and here is the dead person. I'm not dead. Yes, you are.
You will be in a minute. Shut up. Oh, wow.
God. You know, so she resigned from the cabinet on Friday morning after the details of her 2014 conviction, which she got after pleading guilty for making a false report. All right. Now, it led to more questions onto how the PM and if the PM knew about the conviction, especially before he actually appointed her. All right. And nobody's saying anything at the moment.
Of course he did. He prosecuted her.
he was probably trying to get her off with it, wasn't he? To be honest, I don't think he knew. I just think he's just so stupid, this bloke. It's unbelievable.
Well,
it's like he didn't even think to ask, oh, she's nice. Get her on board.
The co-chairman of the Conservative Party said that the Prime Minister needed to address what he knew about Mrs. Haigh's conviction directly, adding, Keir Starmer appointed Louise Haigh to cabinet to run a £30 billion budget, despite knowing she had a fraud conviction. All right? And, you know, other people have been asked about it. Pat McFadden was unable to answer any questions. Okay. But he defended Sir Keir's appointment of Miss Haigh to the front bench.
This is not funny, is it? It's not funny. It is.
I can't help laughing, though.
No, it is. It is funny, isn't it, really? But
hilarious.
It's not funny.
Here's the dead body. I'm not dead.
Get out.
Shut up. Shut up. Just look dead.
Oh, dear.
I know.
Don't forget, vote Labour.
Yeah. It's a laugh a minute. All right. Now, you know, I was talking in the last podcast about having to get rid of people and think, the thought processes, within the civil service of all the institutions. All right. Well, your friend, Gawain Towler, Trevor, came up with one. Right. Came up with one. He said, and it was on X, and he said a friend of his is doing an admin course for the NHS. And he put up one of the questions, and he said, clearly the right answer is the last one, but the one if you want to get or keep a job might be a different one. All right?
Women and penises, or men and babies, which one is it?
Listen to the question. Listen to the question.
I bet you.
Thomas and Jenny have just had their first baby.
I knew it.
The community midwife visits their home and notices what looks like an extreme right-wing political organization membership card on the coffee table. with some of the group's promotional pamphlets. Do you consider there to be a safeguarding risk? Choose the correct option and select submit. Okay.
They've got another option for your right-wing extremist things, all subjective nonsense that you all babble on about because you're obsessed with Nazis and fascists. Is that an option too?
Right.
No.
You ready?
Go on.
Now, here's the options. Okay.
Where do I join?
Do you consider this to be a safeguarding risk? Yes. Seek more information or speak to your line manager or organizational safeguarding team before deciding if there are any safeguarding risks. Second option, yes. Speak to them about their political views before deciding what to do next. Right? Or the third option, no. Do nothing. It is none of your business what other people's political views are.
See, I'd probably say the third option, but can we have a fourth option of, I'll just join and give them a monthly subscription?
Well,
what group?
okay.
So they don't specify a group, do they? So, what is it?
They've chosen the first one, yes. Seek more information or speak to your line manager or organizational safeguarding team before deciding if there are any safeguarding risks. Now, the question here is, okay, is it right that clerical assistants should be being used as political commissars?
No.
Well, there it is. That's the point that he's bringing
Well, the first thing that strikes me, if you're answering question one there, is you've not got a mind. You can't make your own decisions.
Correct.
There you go.
In fact, why is it NHS? Is it someone going around to check on the baby after it's been born? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Right. So the priority isn't the welfare and the health of the baby and the mother. It's what stuff's on the table and what politics they're into.
Correct. It's
honestly,
got nothing to do.
We will end up like Mao's revolution in this country, and I keep saying it, and there'll be teachers murdered and everything. It's going to be a mess if we don't sort this crap out.
Who at the NHS put that question in? And how dare they? Who the hell are they? Because that information goes on your NHS records. Cheeky bastards.
Just go back to the start. What did it explain? Far right wing, right wing. What did it say? Because I switch off to some of that nonsense.
Thomas and Jenny have just had their first baby. The community midwife visits their home and notices what looks like an extreme right-wing political organization membership card on the coffee table with some of the group's promotional pamphlets.
Right, well,
do you consider there to be a safeguarding issue?
Right.
No, because you're there for the, it's Mark's, you're there for the concerns of the baby. Is the baby well? Is it being fed? Is it being looked after? Is it growing?
Exactly.
Right.
What? Go on, Mark.
And two, there isn't any extreme right-wing groups that you can just become a member of. The only extreme right-wing group that has had any credence has now been banned. A lot of the members are in jail. It was National Action. So what they really mean is they mean UKIP, Reform, Tommy Robinson, anyone like that who's on the right. That's what they really mean. Let's just get down to what they really mean. They mean anyone on the right wing shouldn't have a baby. Yeah. They want us dead. I'm sorry, but this is the outcome. This is the outcome if we let this unfold.
Well, whoever is behind that, that's a very, very important post on X, which everybody should pay attention to. And what should actually happen on that is people should turn around and say, who the hell wrote that? And get them out, right? Get that mindset out because it's got nothing to do with them whatsoever. End of story.
Right, okay. So what I can conclude from that is take all the right-wing babies away from the right wing. So the right wing doesn't exist anymore. Because they've got their little pyramid, haven't they? Whereas hate speech at one end can end in, genocide at the other end. So let's make our own triangle then, shall we? So you've got,
the hell?
Spying on mothers who've had a baby to see what political stuff's in there. And at the top of it, genocide.
Who the hell do those people think they are?
That's actually really annoyed me, John.
It's bad.
You can probably tell, can't you?
Imagine it at different levels. Yeah,
we've been seeing it in institutions where they're going for jobs and stuff, but this is next level bull crap, this, mate, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
like the army and things like that. Who don't associate with right wing groups. All right, whatever. This is next level, man.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
I'm actually stunned from that. It takes a lot to stun me. I'm furious. Sorry, go on.
Well, here's another one for you. Okay. All right. This was a post by Dr. Lawrence Newport. And it was about a group of people who put out a film. And it's a guy that literally, he said, he parked a bike with GPS trackers somewhere where they thought it would be safe. Right outside Scotland Yard.
Wasn't safe.
It was quickly stolen. Police didn't check CCTV, couldn't go to a moving GPS signal or one at an address. The government has given up and police can't focus on rampant threats of theft. So, what are we supposed to do when you can get banged in jail for hurty tweet, but yet you can't even get just simple crime solved? Now, these guys had trackers, and they could actually tell you exactly where the bike was. You got it? So you just sit there, and you just say the police did nothing. It was right in view of Parliament as well.
I've seen this before, actually, where someone reported a car had been stolen and it had a tracker on it, and they said, you need to go around and get it yourself. And it's like, what?
Well, they told them where the bike was.
And I get it myself, and then I'm a thief.
I was just talking to a friend's stroke customer last week. He's just had his bike stolen out of his garage. And these bikes these days, they're worth £2,500. They're not cheap. It's like aluminium bike. And he got him walking off on CCTV. He went out and he has privets outside his house where there was an iron bar, like a metal bar, stuck in the privets or wherever it was. I can't remember, down the back of the thing here, whatever. Anyway, he found it and he got back onto the police. He said, hang on a minute. They said, oh, well, we'll just give an insurance number, usual thing and all that. Like, police crime number, just claim my insurance. He said, well, hang on a minute. I found this that was just put down the side of the fence here. They came with intent. And they said, well, we can't prove that because it's rained. He said, what are you on about? He said, well, if it's rained, it's washed your DNA off, so we can't prove anything.
Not necessarily.
No.
The fingerprints might still be on it. What he should have said, though, Trev, is they've actually been mean to me on Twitter as well. They would have been round like a shot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's what he said to the police. This iron bar, this bar, whatever it was, I don't know what it was, a bar of some sort, has been pushed down the side of the fence, and they came. They'd have hit me with that, and he said, well, where's it come from? We can't prove that, and it's rained overnight, so there won't be any DNA in it, so we can't prove anything, so just claim on your insurance.
Already, we can go one step better than the police. Like, somebody who knows him or has seen him on that bike knows where that bike is. Yep. You don't just break into a random garage to randomly find a $2,500 bike.
No, exactly. No, so they've been monitoring him and they've followed him. And they went. And that's what he said.
Somebody knows.
This bar was thingy, so it's somebody that's monitored him, somebody that's watched him, as you've said.
Or someone who knows, who lives in the area and knows he's got that bike. I've seen this happen when I was kids. We all left our bikes in a mate's garden, and then we just went and played footy on a field round the corner and came back, and all 3 bikes had gone. Now, we knew who it was because he lived in the street and he was a known thief, but we couldn't prove it because couldn't find the bikes.
Okay, well, here's the last one for you. Okay, and this should warm the cockles of each of your hearts. Here we go. The tide is turning, according to Father Calvin Robinson. He said the globalists have had their day. Texas is suing BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard for illegally conspiring to manipulate markets, driving up costs for consumers. And the comment is from Ken Paxton, who's the Attorney General out of Texas. Texas will not tolerate the illegal weaponization of the financial industry in service of a destructive, politicized, environmental agenda. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street formed a cartel to rig the coal market, artificially reduce the energy supply, and raise prices. Their conspiracy has harmed American energy production and hurt consumers. This is a stunning violation of state and federal law. Right now, when somebody like Texas decides that they're going to sue you, I don't think no matter how big BlackRock and Vanguard are, they will not be sitting there going, Houston, we have a problem. Because they do. Because it's not just Texas. If Texas start and they start to win on certain sides of the legal argument, that means that other states who've got a beef with Vanguard and BlackRock, they'll begin. And once they start, they'll work in conjunction. It'll be like an all-out assault on them. And you can guarantee, doesn't matter what they do, I would be betting you right now that BlackRock are moving assets as we speak. Because they will begin, and I'm going to give way to you very shortly, Stats. Right? They're going to begin to freeze assets that they've got in different states. And that's what will happen. And they'll cut off their funding. So anyway, go ahead. Go on, Stats.
Yeah, that might be good because then if they can prove that that's what's been going on, then they can possibly ban them then somehow, or put some laws in, or whatever's already in place to stop them from actually owning shares in literally every company in the world. Because that is the biggest conflict of interest I've ever seen in my life. All these few, call them companies. They're just groups who just want to meddle in everything and make loads of money.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got, what good are they doing? But that might be why the BlackRock fellow was
over here
with Labour. I told you they were up to something, didn't I? And didn't you say, Trev, that they own a lot of Bitcoin?
They're the biggest holder of Bitcoin, BlackRock.
Yeah, so I wonder why that is, so they can manipulate that too. Of course it is.
When they tell you not to own, they tell you not to own Bitcoin.
Yeah, because they want to own it all.
They want to own it all, and they want to control it, which is digital currency. Oh, what's coming in all across the world at the moment? Digital currency.
So you see, though, the thinking behind the scenes might be, okay, we don't need, seeing as the digital bank currency didn't really, where, people weren't too keen, we can do this a different way, can't we? And we'll just buy up all the digital currency.
Well, let me
we
read
can inflate it, and we can do everything we want to it. Then we can manipulate it till the cows come home. We know when it's going to go up. We know when it's going to go down. And that's what they do with all these shares. And they're all on the boards of these companies, getting the noses in with all the DEI and everything.
These politicians are all doing the same. It's all insider trading.
Yeah, get them gone.
Well,
good on Texas.
Let me read you what they've said. Over several years, the three asset managers acquired, and he's talking about BlackRock, State Street Corporation, and Vanguard. They've acquired substantial stock holdings in every significant publicly held coal producer in the United States, thereby gaining the power to control the policies of the coal companies, using their combined influence over the coal market. The investment cartel collectively announced in 2021 their commitment to weaponize their shares to pressurize the coal companies into accommodating green energy goals. To achieve this, the investment companies pushed to reduce coal output by more than half by 2030. Now, if that isn't manipulation, what is? So I know that Texas are smart. They're the first ones that said no to Biden. When every state was, complaining about the migrants coming over the border, Texas just went, it ends. And Biden was going to send down, federal government armies. And the Texas said, go ahead, send them. I mean, Texas was one of the most well-armed states in America, if not the most well-armed states. Okay. And if it was to secede from the United States, in the world, it would probably be the sixth largest economy.
What, more than Latchford?
Only just.
Go ahead, Stats.
Hey, they're all about smashing the gangs. Well, looks like someone might be trying to smash the biggest gang we've got going. the biggest gang of crooks, in my opinion, anyway. Do you know what? That's quality. I like that, you know. So I wish we had politicians. I'm not going to say politicians like them. I just wish we had politicians because what we've got, they're just frauds.
Oh, yeah.
They're not politicians, are
useless.
they? They're just career idiots and just don't give a damn about anything but themselves. That's brilliant, that, you know. Good.
Well, the thing you should realize about that is, do not think for one instant that he's just put that out on his own and he's screaming, "Remember the Alamo." Forget that. He'll have already spoken to other states in which they have coal mining interests.
Oh, this will just be the test, won't it?
This is just the test. And then if BlackRock don't kowtow straight away, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Because once you mess with government, and especially state government, who are looking after their interests, because remember, in America, you know, Texas looks after Texas first, and then it looks after America. All right? And it's the same with all the others. Say what?
Hello, Uncle John.
Well, this will open the door for other countries as well as states, won't it? If they're successful. This could actually destroy them. Good.
It could cause a problem. I mean, you look at what BlackRock and Vanguard are trying to do with Arla.
Yeah. Look, they're
with
the biggest,
Bill Gates.
Oh, they're just the biggest conflict of interest I've ever seen in my life. It's not just the oil industry. They're in every industry. They're in everything.
You see, they don't realize, these guys. I mean, they think that their money and law and their ability to hire solicitors, you know, at the highest level is going to do them any good. What is it going to do if, you know, the army walks in and says, "Get out"? You know, if they're in their offices in Texas, you know, they're sitting there saying, "I'm going to get my solicitor onto you," and they say, "Yeah," and we'll tell him to bring his army and his guns, because they just turn around to him and say to him, "Get out." That's it. They don't realize that, you know, there comes a point whereby you can only push somebody so far, right? And your money can only buy so much influence. And then after that, say goodnight. You know, simple as that. Anyway.
Yeah, this could be good. Look, it's them pushing the DEI and the ESG and all that stuff.
Oh, they are.
This could be good to get rid of all that as well.
Yeah,
this is ruining everything, isn't it? Just leave the free market alone, leave businesses alone, just let them crack on. The more you interfere, the worse it gets. I'm going to do another podcast now, actually, because someone's proved it. But
there you go.
The more socialism you introduce, the worse the economy gets.
Well, there you go. The bell's already gone.
Introduce, the better it becomes.
The bell's already gone.
Right at this moment.
Okay. The bell has already gone.
Didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
Wrong button.
No, it isn't. It's the end.
Yeah, and it's not that bad. Give us time. And I've got my controversial stuff to say again anyway, which is just a typical sign of the times in Great Britain at the moment, everybody.
Go on, then.
Inmate 1. What are you in for? Inmate 2. Bomb. Inmate 1. Wow. Pipe, car, nail. Inmate 2. No, bath. Now, everybody that knows me, well, they know me, it's as simple as that. Don't try walking a mile in my shoes. That would be boring. Well, it would at the minute with my Veronica.
Veruca.
Veruca, whatever it is. Just spend 30 seconds in my head. Roller coaster.
Say goodnight, Stats.
Good night to all lovely listeners. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in again next week. We'll have a few more podcasts out.
Indeed.
Some funny, some serious. So, you know, it's a look at the draw, isn't it?
It is indeed.
There's a look at the draw with this bunch.
Do you know what? They might be rubbish in government, but they're giving everyone unlimited content. Like, you could do about 10 podcasts a day on these fools. Anyway, let's get this podcast shut down. I've got an adult joke to come out with.